If you've been watching this channel for more than a couple months, there are 3 main takeaways you should have already got by now. We're gonna run through those right now, the most important things that you need to absorb from everything I put out on this channel. Many of you have been long-time subscribers. I know I get people messaging me sometimes like, Gabriel, I love your channel, been watching it since you had 10,000 subscribers. That's amazing. We're just on the brink of passing 300,000. And I appreciate all the support I get from you. And I want to make sure that you understand what are the most important things you should be taking from this channel, because I cover how to throw uppercuts, how to defend punches, how to land low kicks, all sorts of things mentally. Like, we're covering so much. Videos just coming and coming and coming. But if you're relatively new here, or you just really want to summarize what are the main 3 things that I should take from what Gabriel's teaching, we're going to do that right now. So the first thing that I want to touch on is the fact that bad cardio will lose you fights. Or if you're only in for sparring, it's gonna lose you sparring rounds. You're gonna go in and you're gonna get manhandled, beat up because of bad cardio. Cardio does not necessarily win fights, but it can absolutely cause you to lose rounds or lose fights. That is not a question. It's not up for debate. We've seen it many times. Somebody gasses out, the other person is not the more skilled fighter, but they get the edge, they get the KO. How do we go about training cardio? If we are somebody who only has, let's say, 3 or 4 times a week to work out, here's the most important thing. The one thing that you should be keeping in mind. Fight sports are not a consistent pace. We're not jogging along going, okay, we just have this nice consistent 8 miles per hour. No, we're going fast, we're going slow. We're getting our break, we're going fast again, we're getting a break. Oh no, we're back up. Oh, long break. There's lots of give and take. It's surprising. You never know when you're gonna have to go based on what the other person does. So with that in mind, if you only have 3 or 4 days a week to train, whether it be running, swimming, your martial arts training, you need that sprint, pause, and you can achieve it in so many ways. It does not need to be in class even. If your coach is not giving you something like that, or you feel like you need to push yourself further at the end of each session, take a short period of time. We do not need a lot of time. You can get 3 2-minute rounds and you can get so much done. Now, it could be done in the form of running. You could sprint 50 meters, just sort of bounce on the spot for about 5-10 seconds, sprint 50 meters again. Do that for 2 minutes. Take a break. You could go over to the bag and do some really hard drill where for 5 seconds you just punch as hard as fast as you can and you bounce around for 5 seconds and you go for 5 seconds hard and fast again. It's that up-down pace. This is going to be a savior, and it's the first thing that I want you to recognize about this channel. Cardio is very important. Do not be naive. Do not be lazy. Dial it in and it will help you. Limited edition fight gear, strike ready with me, my name on the back, me throwing a flying knee in the air, super great quality jersey and shorts. This is pre-order. Shipments are gonna go out in December. There's a link down below where you guys can get your order. The next spot I want you to put your focus, and I want you to recognize I preach this on the channel, defense. Defense is so important. I've already put together an awesome course. So I think there's a link down below there if you want to get on that. But the main thing is best fighters. The best fighters in the world can be broken down if they only have one form of defense, or they don't have the ability in the worst times to properly defend themselves. And we do see this. Somebody who is very good at footwork. They're so bouncy, they're great with head movement, but they get stuck against the ring ropes or the cage, and they are not proficient at defending themselves from this position. We will see them eventually in their career get KO'd. But it could be flipped. We could have somebody who's only good in here, and they need to start employing more footwork to make people miss. You want to dial in that defense. How do you go about dialing in defense? You grab somebody, again, 6 minutes, even less at the end of class. You put your back against the wall, not literally flat against the wall, but you give yourself no space to run and you just go, can you just punch at me? And if you want to work on slipping, you just have them go really light and you just work, head movement. If you want to get good at footwork, you have them kind of chase you around throwing shots and you're just going to be going and doing all that. If you want to get really good at that Dutch guard, you just stand your ground and you just have them punch at you and you just get comfy in there. Defense is so important. If you're not doing it, it does not matter how good your offense is, eventually you're going to get clipped and everything's going to fall apart. It only takes 1 or 2 times for you to get clipped hard to lose confidence in your offense, because you know as soon as you go offensive, the person can come back and hit you, then your offense starts to suffer. So we have the cardio, we have the fact that you need to push your defense. Massive, massive things that I love to talk about on this channel. The final thing, which I have preached time and time again, is finding not your gym's style or your coach's favorite style, but your own style. What works best for you? This is going to take your skill level and put it so much higher. If I, let's say, had Buakaw as my coach, and he's teaching me this, and he's teaching me that big teep and that snappy left round kick and everything else that goes with his style, I might still be good, but I'm not going to be nearly as good as if I can incorporate my left body hook, if I can put pressure on people, if I can start boxing them up, if I can mix in my spinning techniques to make them nervous, right? You have to create your own style and you have to be willing to go beyond the boundaries of what your coach is teaching. Or at least, if you have a good coach who's teaching you lots of stuff, being able to figure out from all this information, what am I best at? How do we go about doing that? We start off with 1 or 2 techniques, things that we recognize we have success with. It could be simply on the bag. It could be on the bag, I feel super fast and super powerful with my jab. And then I start building from there. I go, okay, when I spar, I'm going to use my jab a whole lot. And then you realize people start getting nervous about that jab, so they create a little bit more distance. Therefore, I'm going to surprise them with a long teep to the stomach. Now we have 2 techniques, possibly that work for you. And you need to go out, put in the rounds, think after, what did I have success with? What did I not have success with? One of my favorite things years ago was to watch fights on Saturday night, let's say, and then Monday, something that I saw a fighter execute, I would go, I'm going to try that in sparring. It could have been something like a little gazelle hook. I saw somebody go, whoop, and spring forward. So I go, okay, I'm going to bounce around. I'm just going to try springing forward and throwing it in sparring and see what happens. It could be something basic. I saw Remy Bonjanski one time do a long European style right hook and then shift his weight back into the left round kick. Because when you hit somebody here, you're going to knock them into the kick. Tried it. I'm okay with it, but I'm not awesome. So I played around with it. It's in there in the back of my head, but it's not a go-to technique. When you start creating your own style, you're going to be so much more proficient than just being that cookie cutter fighter out of your gym. So if we take these 3 things and we go, these are massive areas which Gabriel is telling us to put the focus, I'm going to be happy with everything I'm teaching you. Yes, I can dial in your technique more. Yes, I can give you better cardio routines. Yes, we can do some ab workouts together and so many other videos. But if you at least leave this channel with those 3 things that you've learned, figured out how to dial them in, I know you're going to be better than you were before getting here, and that makes me happy. That's what I'm looking to accomplish. So thanks for joining, everybody. If you appreciated this episode, make sure you hit that like button for me. And as always, train hard. I will see you back here soon for another video.